going to be doing my final review on the Fitbit Alta. I did a video on the unboxing of it and like a mini initial review, but I didn't know that much about it at the time, and it was literally my first impression of it. So now that I know more about it and have worn it for about a week, I'm filming this video to show you guys all about it and show you some tips and tricks about it. And basically, hopefully this video helps you decide whether you want it or not. And another thing I just wanted to say, thank you so much for all like the positive comments on all my videos and just commenting in general. Like, it's so nice. I see all your comments and just makes me so happy. So thank you so much for commenting and being an active subscriber or even viewer on my channel. Thank you so much. And enough with the rambling, let's get on to the Fitbit Alta review. So this is the box that it came in. If you watched my unboxing, you saw me take everything out of this box. So it just looks like this. It just says Fitbit Alta and it has a picture of it. And then on the back it like shows everything about it. So it says like it tracks your steps and your running, and it's customized with interchangeable bands. So if you want the video of me opening that, I will leave it in the link below. But this is just the box inside. I took everything out so it's empty, but this is just what the box looks like. And then here I have the tracker. So I got the plum version. It's really cute. I think my favorite part about this tracker is the design. I love that it's so slim. I love that it looks more like a bracelet rather than the Fitbit Charge HR tracker, which I have here. It still looks like a bracelet, but obviously, as you can see, this one is much thicker than this one. But I just love the way it looks. I loved everything about the style of it. I love that you can interchange the bands. So you can actually take this part of the tracker off and get a pink leather band, a leather band, a silver band. Fitbit introduced like a whole new customization that you can do with your Fitbit trackers. I know for the Charge HR and the Charge you weren't able to customize it. Like, you got your color, you got the teal, you got the pink, you got the purple, whatever. You have to stick with that color. But with this one and the Fitbit Flex, you can change the bands. And I know for the Fitbit Flex, I think you have to like put a new band on top, but I'm not too sure. So Fitbit really tried to introduce the ability to customize a lot of your devices. So they did this especially on the Fitbit Alta, where you can take the actual tracker off and put on a new band. You just, at the back here, there's just a little switch here, so you pull it, and then your thing comes off, and then you just have the tracker, and then you can put on the new band. Then just to put it back on, you just really slip it back in. So it's really simple and super easy if you ever want to do that. I haven't because I like the purple one, but it's completely up to you. So overall, as we know, I like the style. One other thing, this is what the back looks like. It doesn't have a regular watch latch, which I was a little iffy about when I was first buying it. Like the Fitbit Charge HR, there is, hold on, let me just put that one down. There is an actual latch that you can put it through and secure it so that there's no way that thing is getting off your wrist. But this one didn't have that. I'm not sure why they didn't keep it. Maybe because it was thinner and they couldn't do that. Not too sure, but I know I was really worried while wearing it that it was going to come off. But overall, I guess these are the circles, but like the threads that you have to put them in are very tight. I've only worn it for a week though, so I'm not sure about in a year how loose they're going to be and whether or not it's going to fall off easily. I'm not too sure. But another thing that I found when I was first putting the wristband on is that I found it really hard to get the holes in, like get these metal pieces inside the actual corresponding holes. Like, I can do it without the wristband on, that's fine, but it was just me having trouble trying to put it on. I literally sat there for about 10 minutes not being able to do it. I finally figured out that this silver piece, it helps if you press the silver piece down rather than just the whole band, which I wasn't doing. It still took me a little while. I think it took me about a minute to get it on after that, but nothing like the Fitbit Charge HR where I can literally put it on in like 10 seconds. So that was something that already to me was a little iffy about it, but it's just, you gotta get it with practice. Like, obviously the first time you're not gonna get it, but now I'm pretty comfortable with putting it on. Then again, I don't really take it off that often, just to shower really, and when I need to charge it, but other than that, I don't really take it off that often. And the battery life on this Fitbit tracker lasts around 5 days. Since it doesn't have a heart rate, it's not continuously monitoring your heart rate and using that battery. So it does last about a day longer than the Fitbit Charge HR. I measured them, but a day longer isn't really that big of a deal. You can just charge it. It is really fast charging. It takes like an hour to charge it, so that's nothing for a Fitbit tracker, so that's awesome. But now let's get into like the actual tech. So there are two ways to turn on the Fitbit. One, by raising your wrist, just like flicking your wrist like you were gonna look at a regular watch and it turns on. Another one by doing the tapping motion, which is the most common thing you'll likely be doing. So you just take the Fitbit like this, and see, it thought it was the flicking motion, and it just has the time when you go onto the app, which I will show you in a little bit, you can customize the time, you can customize what your front screen looks like, whether you want the screen to go horizontal or vertical, that is completely up to you. So basically you tap it, and then the first thing that you see is the time. The second thing that you see is how many steps that you've walked that day. So it automatically sets a goal on the app of 10,000 steps, but you can change it to whatever amount of steps that you want to achieve that day. And then after that, they have how far you've walked. So it automatically comes in miles, but since I'm Canadian, we use the metric system. Is kilometers a metric system? I'm pretty sure. We use kilometers, so I had to adjust that within the app, but you can totally do miles or kilometers, whatever you want. And then after that, you have how many calories you burned that day, and then you have how many minutes you've exercised for. So if you exercise for more than 15 minutes, whether you're doing the elliptical, you're running, cycling, whatever you're doing, it can pick up on what you're doing and it'll count it as how long you've been working out for. So unlike the Fitbit Charge HR, you can't just hold down the button here and have it start counting. Like, see, it's clear, it's counting now how long I've been working out. This one just detects it on its own, which I wasn't too sure about in the beginning. Like, I didn't know how accurate it was going to be, but after using it for a week, it's been pretty accurate, so that's been good. And also you can input it on the app if you want to too. So hold on, now I'm gonna turn it back on, hold on. After it shows how long you worked out for, it goes back to the time. From someone who had the Fitbit Charge HR originally, I really felt that it was lacking the heart rate. I love looking at my heart rate. I love knowing my heart rate and everything. So that's something that I really wish that the Alta had. If you're someone coming from a Charge or a Flex and you never did have the heart rate, this would be a huge upgrade to you. And that's just basically what the Alta really wants. They discontinued the Charge so that they brought the Alta in, because it essentially is the same thing as the Charge, but coming from a Fitbit Charge HR to the Alta, I was a little disappointed but that it didn't have a heart rate. But if you're someone that doesn't really check their heart rate often, this is definitely the one for you, because it all around is a very good tracker. So I'm just going to show you what the app looks like. I have a Samsung phone, so the Android version of the app is a bit different than the iPhone version, but overall they look the exact same. So when you open up the app, this is what it looks like. It just says your dashboard and shows your device. So obviously I have the Fitbit Alta, then it shows your steps and your heart rate. Obviously, Fitbit Alta doesn't do heart rate, so this is just left behind by my Charge HR. Then it shows how many kilometers you've run today. Clearly, I haven't been wearing it that much today, so it hasn't really done any of that. But how many calories I burned and how many hours out of 8 that I've moved 250 steps. So something that the Fitbit Charge HR does not have and the Fitbit Alta does have is a notification every hour, 10 minutes before the hour changes, letting you know whether or not you've reached 250 steps in that hour. They want to encourage you to be moving constantly, and you basically just get a notification saying, get more steps, or 100 more steps to go till 250, or get moving today. Basically, it'll say anything, it'll just vibrate and pop up on your screen, letting you know that you haven't reached 250 hours. You can also customize the times that you wanted to show up, because originally it was like, I think it was like 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. and I'm like, no, I am not getting notified at 7 a.m. So I started mine at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I think. So you can very much change whatever time you want to start. Maybe if you work out earlier, you can set it to 6 to 7 or whatever. Completely up to you, but that's how you can customize it. Then it says how many floors you've climbed. Again, this is something that the Alta does not do. The Fitbit Charge HR does, so that's why my app is a little bit different. And then you can put in your body weight, what you want your weight to be by the end of a week, by the month, whatever, and then you can keep up with your stats and input what you've eaten today, what you've drank today, basically anything that you want to. It is a very much fitness app. It is there for you to get healthy and track your steps and get fit, so it's very awesome. Then you can start a food plan. I haven't started a food plan yet, but you guys can do that if you want. I just haven't felt the need to. And then how much water you drank. So when you press anything, so you can press the steps, and then it can shows you throughout the week what your steps have been like, whether you've hit your goal every week, whether you haven't, whether you've been just shy, and it can show you all the steps that you have had that week. And then you can go into how far you've walked. Everything that you can press, it just shows you into more detail. And then if you go to your sleep, it actually measures your sleep, so that's pretty awesome. So I got 7 hours and 19 minutes of sleep last night, so I clearly did not sleep very well. I was tossing and turning, but I can see exactly when I fell asleep, what time I woke up, whether I was restless or anything. So let's go to like a good night's sleep. Let's see a good night's sleep, what I had. Okay. 9 hours and 9 minutes. So as you can see, this was a pretty good night's sleep for me. I slept 9 hours and 9 minutes. I was only 5 times awake, 17 times restless, and overall 39 minutes awake and restless. And then I can see exactly the times that I woke up in the middle of the night, whether I was awake, whether I was restless, what was going on. So that's pretty cool to see what your sleeping pattern is, how long it took you to go to sleep. So that's something I really like about the trackers, and they both do this phenomenally. The only thing that the Fitbit Charge HR does more when you're sleeping is your resting heart rate. But if you're not someone who looks at your heart rate, then that's not something that you need. So the Fitbit Alta is awesome. It is a very accurate tracker. So now just looking at the Fitbit Alta charger, I really like this charger. One thing that I found that I did not like about my Charge HR was the fact that you plug it in and there's literally nothing keeping it holding on to the Fitbit Charge HR. It would fall off, it wouldn't plug in properly. Sometimes I turned it overnight and wake up in the morning and it was completely dead because the charger wasn't fully in. So it was very loose and not sturdy at all. They must have gotten complaints on that, so their new charger now has a clip where you can actually clip it on to the tracker itself, so there's no way that this clip is falling off of your tracker. So basically this is what the charging port looks like on the actual tracker. You just take your charger and you attach it onto there and hold on to it, and it plugs in to the wall, and it's awesome. There's no way that this Fitbit is falling out of the charger, so it is super awesome and very sturdy. So that is really something that I didn't have to worry about when I was charging my Fitbit or anything. I was like, oh no, is it gonna fall out? No, it is completely sturdy. More features about the Fitbit Alta are that you can get text notifications, calendar notifications, and call notifications. Basically, if you get a text message and you have it set up to show up on your Fitbit Alta, then you will get a notification saying, hey, mom said this and this and this, and that way you can see what it is, and you can't reply on it because it is such a little screen. That would be very tricky, but it just notifies you that you got the message. So I'm gonna go grab my phone and I'm going to call myself so that you can see it come up on my device. So right now I'm just going to call myself so we can see what it looks like when it comes up on the Fitbit. So it's just ringing. Let's see. So now it's just vibrating, so you just tap where you would turn it on, and it just says home because home is calling. It just vibrates once, and that's how you can get your notification. And that's what it looks like when you get a text message or calendar alert also. It vibrates once and then shows you on the screen. So I find that's really helpful in knowing where your notifications are and just being able to look at your phone, because sometimes your phone is on vibrate or silent and you can't hear it. But this way, since it's on you, you will always know to answer your phone. So one thing that I was upset with regarding this tracker, and basically every one of Fitbit's trackers, is that they aren't waterproof. And I do a lot of things in the water, and unfortunately I can't wear any of my Fitbit trackers because they aren't waterproof. They are now splash proof, so if you are washing your hands and splash it, or washing your face and it gets splashed, or if you're in the rain or whatnot, don't think that you cannot get it wet at all. That is perfectly fine, but you just cannot submerge it in water. So hopefully Fitbit comes out with a new tracker soon that is waterproof, because I would really love to not worry about wearing it in the shower or wearing it in the pool or wearing it wherever I'm wearing it and there's a lot of water. So that was one thing that I was a little disappointed with, and not only the Fitbit Alta, also with the Fitbit Charge HR. But other than that, I really enjoy Fitbit's trackers. I love the way that they are seamless with the app. It automatically syncs. It is super awesome. I love it. You can get text notifications, call notifications. You can also set alarms, and when you set an alarm, you just go onto the app and it vibrates on your wrist. I have them set at like 6 and 6:30 and stuff like that, and it's awesome because it doesn't wake up anyone else. So when I was on vacation and I wanted to wake up at 7, I set my alarm on my Fitbit and it just vibrated and I got up. But it didn't have to make a huge loud noise so that everyone in my family heard it. But overall, I love Fitbit trackers. I'm pretty sure I will stay with the Fitbit line in all of my trackers. As of right now, that is what I think. But overall, I really love the trackers, and I really like having the heart rate on my Fitbit Charge HR. So having both of them, I might wear this one more often, but I will definitely wear this one. It is an awesome tracker, and overall, other than the heart rate matter, it is super awesome, and I really love it, and I love the style and everything. So if you're looking for a Fitbit tracker, definitely, if you're not looking for heart rate or any sort of thing and you're looking for like a more of an everyday tracker, get the Alta because it is awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and let me know if you end up buying it or not, or if you buy the Fitbit Charge HR, or if you buy the Fitbit Alta. Whether any tracker, just let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!